Hey Jordy.
How's it going, Tom? How you doing this fine day?
I'm good.
That's good.
What are we doing today?
We are recording our weekly podcast series called Split View.
What are you doing right now?
I am standing here wondering why
You're
we're
not
speaking
standing,
like this.
Jordy.
I'm
Stop
sitting
lying.
here wondering why we're talking like robots.
I don't know. I just thought we'd do kind
Hey
of
guys, thank you for coming back down to the channel, everyone.
Yeah.
Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, do a backflip, and get
do
yourself
a kickflip, faggot.
and then collect 5 felony cases on this goddamn video.
I was doing one of those kind of stereotypical, like, you know how there's like the archetypes, like, you know, welcome guys to such and such,
Yeah,
like what you're doing, and then there's the other one that's like, hey partner, what are we doing today?
Yeah.
I was doing that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything exciting happened recently? Maybe. Nothing.
Well, here's something interesting, right? Because we both are essential workers.
Yeah.
So I don't think we've fully had the hit of quarantine yet, because we don't really get
Our quarantine hits differently, Jordy.
Yeah, we don't really get to quarantine like everyone else. Get to, I'm saying, because my fucking antisocial ass thinks it's a good thing. But now I don't, because I had to speak to Tom for ages, like the other day, because I finally had my first taste of like bad quarantine, not like wanting to do something. Yeah. And that's crazy to me, because I never want to do anything. And now all of a sudden, because my brain knows that I can't do it, I want to do it. Brains are stupid. I hate them.
Yeah, you were like, oh, dude, I really want to go to a club, and I was like, okay,
yeah,
why?
I said that to my family as well. Like, I just want to go to a club and just not go home and wake up in the street. Like, I want to get unspeakably fucked up.
More than that would happen, Jordy.
Yeah.
If you went to a club right now, more than that.
Yeah.
You might wake up in a hospital. You might wake up, I don't know, in isolation.
Yeah, like it's. I don't know why that happened to me, but I had that first case of it, and it's not going to last because I'm back to work soon anyway. But
Okay.
It makes me want to put more effort into our show, dude.
Yeah.
To get everyone, like, you know, who listens every week. We got Flick View as well. If you haven't listened to that yet, put some more effort in, man, so that all these people can enjoy their quarantine time.
I think I suggested Jordy go to a club and VR chat or something.
Yeah, you did, yeah. And I have yet to play VR chat, because I know in my head when I watch YouTubers play it that it's funny and haha, because they're just memeing.
Here's how
And
you
they have
play-
a group of people they're playing with and all
Yeah.
that shit. But if I play, it's just going to be me going, hey, to some guy who's sitting in the corner talking to his VR chat girlfriend.
Okay. Here's how to play VR chat, Jordy. You download a kawaii little girl avatar.
Yeah.
And then you just go around kind of bothering people, being like, hey,
Yeah.
what's going on?
Uganda Knuckles.
I think you said, yeah, I mean, we should play VR chat, but we should, like, use our body scans.
I think that would be funny, because we have...
And horrifying.
Yeah, we took, like, 3D models of ourselves, which look kind of fucked at certain points, but I think it would be hilarious to... I imagine it's not easy to do that, though, so it's, you know...
Yeah, it is what it is.
I imagine that VR chat models aren't, like, the most easy to make.
It's actually just Unity. Like, you literally just download Unity, and there's, like, a template file, and then you just rig it, and then it's done. It's pretty easy.
Oh, okay, well, I'm impressed, because there is quite a lot of models in there, so I thought it had to be somewhat easy.
The hard part is actually, like, applying the skeleton to the vertexes, where you gotta individually select points. But, you know, that's boring stuff.
Yeah, fuck that garbage. Fuck that flaming hot garbage.
Fuck that noise.
What are we doing today, Tom? What are we talking about?
I thought we would talk about the moon.
The moon.
Yeah.
I like the moon. It's calming.
I like it too. I was walking to the shops with me mother earlier today, and I was looking up the moon, because it was very big in the sky. Mm-hmm. And I kind of thought about something. I was like, we see a different moon to most other people, you know?
Yeah.
Like, when you see...
Well, it's the same one.
Well, yeah, but when you see illustrations and depictions of moons, it's usually from an American's perspective, you know, like in Disney cartoons and all that.
Yeah, they see
different craters.
Yeah.
And I thought that was kind of interesting. Like,
that is interesting.
We're all looking at the same moon, but it looks different. Like, for us, we mainly see, like, what looks like Africa on the moon, you know? Like, if you look at it close enough, it actually does look like Africa.
Oh,
but
there you go. I never really noticed.
Americans see, like, the 3 craters, you know, in the Mickey Mouse kind of depiction.
That is fucking cool. I never thought of that. It's like one of those things where you wouldn't know unless you thought about it. It's just one of those cool things to think about, you know? And here's something, right? Do you like the daytime better or the nighttime better?
Yeah, in relation to what, Jordy?
Like, I feel more comfortable at nighttime, right? So then you go outside and you look at the moon, and if you, like, it reminds me, like, when you go camping, that's when you notice these types of things, right? It's lovely because there's no lights around, and you look up, you can see all the stars. Maybe you see the Big Dipper, which, you wouldn't see
the
it.
Big Dipper?
You wouldn't see it. We would see it because we're in the southern hemisphere. But, you know, you Americans or whoever listening might not see it unless you are also in Australia. And you look at the moon and go, that's fucking beautiful.
I like the nighttime. Yeah, I used to live at a house where there was a pool at the front, and like I was in a separate section with my own door, and I can kind of come and go whenever I wanted without bothering people. So yeah, I could just go sit in front of the pool, look around at night.
I've had many nights where I've, like, especially when I was living by myself, where I would just go sit out there and just look at the stars. You know, it's more peaceful than during the day because I don't like the heat. I don't like the sun. I'm in the wrong country. I need to move to fucking Alaska.
I'm wearing a jumper right now, Jordy. So
yeah,
I
know, but I'm in a constant
about.
State of uncomfortably hot, no matter what the temperature is.
Okay.
There was one time where I genuinely
is that like a way of saying that you're hot, kind of unintentionally?
No,
like a way
that's definitely not the case.
Okay.
It's just I
don't know, Jordy.
It's like if you run your hand under, like, if I run my hand under hot water, right, I like break out and get itchy. Like, if it's, like, super hot water.
Okay.
And I've been to doctors about this, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, they just think I'm cooked because that's kind of what it sounds like. And I don't have any other way to explain it. So if anyone out there has this problem and knows what it is, please tell me so that I can stop living my life in a constant state of uncertainty because I hate it.
That was so close to lyrics from a Filthy Frank song there for a second.
What?
I think he has a song that's like, I live in a constant state of depression, something like that. You should join a obscure Reddit page to complain about problems that almost no one else has, and you look like a crazy person.
Yeah, that's true. It's like, if there's a Reddit for it, it's like there's going to be at least 2 or 3 people, right? How much does it take to start a subreddit?
Nothing.
You could just make one?
I own a subreddit that's literally just like 9 nines. Or like 10 nines. I don't know.
That's fine. Maybe we should make a split view Reddit.
Yeah, maybe.
That'd be good. And people can put, like, shit on it. That'd be cool.
We have the Discord.
Yeah, but, well, that's true. But, like, that's for, like, people if they want to, like, chat about it. But if you just want to talk shit about the show and stuff.
Discord.
Well, that's true. That's true. Maybe eventually we'll do it. If people want us to do it, we'll do it.
I have a thing called visual snare where, like, any kind of, you know how when you set the exposure wrong on a camera, you see like static.
Yeah.
I have that when it's darker. Like any dark kind of thing, there's just like static on top of it for me. And there's a subreddit called Visual Snare that is just, there's very few members, and it's just people saying like, oh, look at this guy, got visual snare. When I say visual snare, how do you treat it? Like, it's just, why does that subreddit exist?
But it's kind of nice though, because it's like whenever you see stuff like that, it's like, well, I'm not the only one. You know?
I guess.
Wouldn't it be cool if you, like, looked up at the moon and then your homie was also looking up at the moon at the same time and you had, like, a bro-nection?
How many times has that been said in media?
What?
Oh, what if we're all looking at the same moon, you know? We're all looking at the same moon.
Yeah, you know, do you feel the connection if we both look at the moon at the same time? I think that it's true. It's magic. It's wondrous. It's a sight to be... Yeah. Exactly. It's a sight to be seen, the moon.
This is what the world looks like for me. This is from r/visual snare.
That sucks.
I just see like slight static over everything.
That's
It's like my eyes were a shitty webcam that doesn't have...
pretty stinky.
It's not as bad. Like, I can tune it out when it's bright stuff, but dark, like, my laptop just looks like there's a thin layer of static over it. But
does looking at monitors suck then?
OLEDs are kind of funky, but since IPS displays are always on, they always have a backlight, they're fine. The worst part is that I have very bad night vision, since everything's kind of static.
Oh, right. Yeah.
But, okay, speaking of exposure, Jordy.
Mm-hmm. Talking about cameras?
No. We're talking about the moon.
Oh, okay, cool.
Moon landings, Jordy.
Oh.
Do you think the moon landing is real or fake? Simple question, Jordy. Answer it.
True.
What?
It's real. It happened.
Okay.
It's.
Do you really though?
Yeah, I do
but
really
Jordy,
think that.
Jordy, let me show you a picture real quick. Let me just show you. I'm going to Google moon landing right now. And I'm going to show Jordy the first image, if you want to look at it at home. Look at it. Look at this image, Jordy. What do you notice about this image? It's a dude on the moon.
The shadows are wrong.
No, the shadows are actually pretty correct.
Let me look closer. Can I look closer?
You can look closer, Jordy.
Inspect this shit.
It's just literally just a picture of the moon landing with like...
Oh, he's on a wire.
Look at this sky, Jordy. What do you notice about the sky?
Oh, it's black.
Yeah. What should be in the sky, Jordy?
The Earth.
No.
Stars.
Stars, Jordy.
Oh,
where are these stars? Swipe to the right, Jordy. Keep swiping. What do you notice?
Oh, no.
What do you notice, Jordy?
None of them have stars, dude.
Why don't they have stars, Jordy?
Because it's fake.
No. Just and riddle me this.
Is this like shitty 1969 cameras?
If this was the actual
look at that
moon,
one.
That's
how's that guy not dead? He's not even in a suit.
If this was the actual moon, Jordy, there would be stars because stars are really bright.
Yeah.
And you know when it's nighttime, you see stars even though the Earth is bright.
Yeah.
So if this was a set, they would be really hard to make. So they excluded the stars and lied about it. And
I see.
Why, Jordy? Why is there no stars?
This one has fake stars in it.
Okay.
That's
Jordy.
Photoshop stars.
Jordy, why are there no stars? Answer me this.
Because the set...
Try to actually explain why there's no stars.
Is it because like shit cameras at the time? Just like it didn't somehow.
Do you remember my segue into this?
Oh, because of the
speaking of exposure
probe. Oh, of course.
Because stars aren't actually that bright. So
fucking lol.
Think about the. There's no atmosphere on the moon, so the sun would be really fucking bright on the moon. So they have to expose for it. And turns out stars that are millions of fucking miles away aren't that bright.
That's funny.
So they just crank down the exposure and then you can't see the stars. The interesting thing is that NVIDIA for a ray tracing demo actually modeled the moon with the correct lighting calculations. And the same thing happened to them. They were getting a really bright image, so they cranked down the exposure and the stars disappeared. So that's like actual conclusive evidence.
That's fucking cool that you can do that now, though.
And you can download that demo. It'll run on I think it doesn't even need ray tracing. It'll just run slow, but you can download that and then literally play with the exposure and see the stars.
That's fucking cool,
But Jordy,
dude.
maybe NVIDIA's got paid off. Maybe NVIDIA by big NASA.
I'm sure. Big Pharma, dude. They control everything.
Big Pharma.
Big pharmacy.
I think you meant like farmers.
Don't vaccinate your children. Let them die.
Do vaccinate them.
Let them die.
Do you know what's really funny? Anti-vax people are like, I'm going to inject myself with the disease, with the virus to cure myself against the virus. That makes sense.
Yeah. Except it literally makes sense. It makes sense.
Because the virus is deactivated.
Yeah.
So it gives your body time to learn and create T cells for it.
Yeah. Are they... No, I don't want to talk about the coronavirus anymore.
They have come up with the vaccine. It's just still in
trial. That's what I was going to ask, but I'm like, okay, it feels so heavy, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, I want to chill from that one. We're talking about the moon. This is a spiritual episode.
Okay.
Yeah, you know what? When people talk about us, they go, Tom and Jordy, spiritual guys.
This episode is good vibes only, please.
Yeah.
Please check your vibes before coming in.
Turn your phone off if you're going to be bad-spirited about this. I want you to whip out a bowl. I want you to smoke that bowl.
Okay.
I want you to eat all your mushrooms, take all your LSD, take all your everything that you have at once. And that's the only way to make our show good.
So, Jordy.
Yeah.
Can you think of any other arguments why the moon landing is fake?
Because people are empty and need a reason to feel alive.
What?
So they choose to believe in stupid shit like the moon landing being fake to give their life some validity.
So another actual argument is the flag, Jordy. So look at the flag in this photo. What do you notice about that flag, Jordy?
It's like in the wind?
Yeah.
When there is no wind, yeah.
Why is that?
I don't know, because gravity exists?
There's no wind on the moon, Jordy.
Yeah.
There's no wind.
It's going the wrong way.
I want you to kind of look at the top of the flag for a sec. What do you notice about the top of the flag? Maybe it looks rigid, like there's a fucking bar in there, maybe, because NASA ain't dum-dums, and they were like, hey... The flag is going to look like a chode on the moon, so let's actually put a rod in there And then, hey, maybe an Astro Man can't feel too good in his suit, so he doesn't extend it that far?
How can it be possible that a company that is so fucking smart that they were able to send people to the moon to also think of putting a pole in the flag at the top? How is that possible, Tom?
It's not unreasonable. You can't assume that.
They may, like, if you showed me a spaceship, and you gave me the rest of my life to figure out how it works, I wouldn't figure it out.
Yeah, there's a lot, like, even if you did somehow figure it out, it'd probably fucking explode because of precision and all that. You know?
I can't go around fucking with stuff because it would probably blow up if I did some certain combination wrong.
They have done so many tests and trials on all the equipment and it just explodes. Even, like, NASA makes rockets and they fucking explode because the precisions of everything is just so, like, you know.
Space travel is one of these things that fucking astounds me.
Yeah.
Like, I can't get over how we even got into space. Like, that is fucking incredible to me.
It is pretty incredible that we did that in 1960 or whatever.
Yeah, like 1969, wasn't it? The moon landing?
I think so, yeah. Yeah, 1969.
And I was just like, back in 1969, when I was around, I was like, boy, is this incredible.
Technically, you were around, you just weren't in this form.
That was one of those things, like, the two things that I fucking loved as a kid.
Yeah.
Or three things, actually. I had a fucking raging hard-on for Steve Irwin. I fucking love Steve Irwin. I put on little shows in the backyard. I had, like, a big bucket full of, like, plastic toys and shit.
What, with that pool that you have?
No, it was before that house.
Okay.
It was,
Everyone knows that pool, yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know, and you're the only one that's sitting here with me. But, like, that in one of my first houses that I lived in, we had this big hedge, but there was room behind it. So I would go behind there, and I would have this bucket of animals that I would have in there, like plastic animals. And I'd hold a snake, like, if any of you have seen, like, Crocodile Hunter or something, or how people handle them, I hold them by the tail. And I go like, whoa, she's a crazy one. Whoa! Yeah. And I would, like, go back and, like, hold a little baby alligator. I put on brilliant shows. The second thing that I loved was dinosaurs.
Okay.
I fucking knew all the names. I used to watch Walking with Dinosaurs, like, every fucking day. And the third thing was space, because that shit's fucking cool.
You said two things, and then you added a third one.
Oh, well, sorry.
Why are you lying to me, Jordy?
I didn't mean to lie to you, dude.
I'm trying to find a photo right now to show you something that's pretty dumb.
Is it your penis?
No. Why do you?
Well, I don't need
Why do you always bring up my dick all the time, dude?
Well, funny thing is though, is that I don't need a picture because we record naked anyway, okay. So we don't.
So have a look at this photo. Do you notice anything about this photo? Look at where the shadows are going, right?
Yeah.
And you notice how he's in shadow?
Yeah.
And he's still perfectly visible.
Perfectly visible, yeah.
Why is that?
I don't know.
Maybe light bounces?
Maybe
light bounces off things?
Or maybe you're fucking paid off by NASA as well. Are you about to say that our first sponsor ever is fucking NASA?
That would be great, actually.
That would be pretty cool.
I would love to be sponsored by NASA if they just gave me a NASA shirt, because those are cool.
Yeah. I mean, you can buy them from literally every store in existence.
Not a shitty, like, actual NASA shirts are really nice material, and they don't, like, the logos don't chip off over time.
Yeah. But that's cool.
Yeah.
Once it's added effect, you know.
It's weathered.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, people, they're like, oh, you know, Buzz Aldrin is in the shadow. Why is he visible? He should be perfectly black because all the lighting is really sharp on the moon. It's like, do you know what radiosity is? Like...
No.
Light bounces off things. You know about ambient occlusion, right?
Yes,
You've heard that before.
Yes.
Ambient occlusion is where, like, objects get shadowed or lit depending on how close they are to other objects. Like, if you shine a flashlight into a room, it's not going to be a perfect circle on the wall. The light is going to bounce and scatter around and then slightly illuminate everything else. That's the surface of the moon is fucking bright.
Yeah.
Like, you know, we're talking about there's no atmosphere. The sun is beaming down on the moon, bouncing all the fuck around, and then lighting everything up. Like, I don't understand people. The thing is, these people that are arguing the moon is fake don't understand basic physics. I mean, yeah, the moon. Well, they think
entire moon. You know what? I'm sure I've heard at some point that people think the moon is fake. I'm sure I've heard that.
The second part of this is flat earthers. We're finally going to actually talk about flat earthers, and some theories do. You know, some people do believe the moon is genuinely fake.
Fuck.
So, I just find the kind of radiosity thing kind of ridiculous. Okay, let's talk about actual hard evidence that the moon landing is fake, Jordy.
Okay.
Have you seen
some?
Yes.
Oh, he did a wink at me, guys.
Jordy?
Oh,
Jordy?
we just lost our NASA sponsorship.
Yeah.
Fuck.
No, I'm winking.
Fuck.
I'm winking to say that. Yeah, I have real evidence.
Oh,
yeah.
I see.
I'm winking to you to let you know that I'm not a fucking retard, mentally disabled person.
Do you know what? I
Yeah.
put the pieces together that you might have been joking.
Okay.
By myself.
Cool. So have you seen The Shining?
Yes, I have actually.
What?
Whoa! Ding 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 ding! Movie I've actually
Yeah,
seen.
that's actually
holy fuck! It only took 24 episodes.
That actually is incredible.
24 weeks. Woohoo! Oh, I'm just peeking the microphone left, right, and center. Sorry about that.
You actually didn't, surprisingly.
Oh, sweet.
So
Today's a good day, man.
The Shining is fucking terrifying as well. I rewatched it recently. It is genuinely unsettling to watch.
Good fucking movie. I like that movie.
People don't like it because it's like, oh, what do you know what happens? Like, just
It's a
random
bit
shit happens.
long-winded. It's a bit, like you have to
Why is
use
that
your brain
wolf-
piece a bit.
Why is that wolf giving a dude a blowjob? What's going on here?
A wolf job.
And I'm like, I like that. But what is the one room that Danny doesn't want to go into? Do you remember the room number?
Oh shit. Does it start with a 7?
It has a 7 at the end of
Okay,
it.
that's all I remember. I don't remember the
It's
number.
the room where Jack Torrance goes in there, and then there's like...
Are you worried about spoiling a movie that's like 20 years old?
No, I'm just describing
Okay.
what happens. He that's the part I remember. He goes in there and there's the naked lady in the bathtub, and he's like, "That's
I
pretty
hated
cool."
that fucking scene.
And then it turns out she's all rotted and shit.
Yeah.
That was unsettling.
I
But
hated that fucking scene.
yeah, it's room 237.
237, right.
So, Jordy,
Yeah.
who faked the moon landing? Who is the
I don't know, dude.
Who is the director that directed the moon landing on a set?
Spielberg.
Stanley Kubrick. Director of The Shining. Do you know
You're
why?
like, that was a throwback.
Yeah, because I literally.
Do you remember
was just
that
talking about
that time that we did that? Like,
because we
20 episodes
we couldn't
ago?
remember who the fuck Stanley Kubrick
Yeah.
was.
yeah.
So what is significant about room 237, Jordy?
Isn't that one of those numbers that's just sort of like used everywhere?
Uh,
Like one of those like...
not really, but it is
No?
significant.
Okay, I'm not sure why then.
237, Jordy. How far away is the moon to the Earth? Ask your phone right now.
Okay.
How far away is the moon?
Okay, Google. How far away is the Earth from the moon?
The moon is about 384,400 kilometers from Earth.
Boom.
Ah, that's not the number.
Yeah.
Not even close.
Ask Google how much that is in miles.
Okay.
Just ask how much.
How
is it.
much is 384,400 kilometers in miles?
384,400 kilometers equal 238,855.
That's pretty close.
238, dude.
That's pretty close.
Kilometers to miles.
Obviously, that equals 237.
Alright, shut up now.
Dude, obviously Stanley Kubrick faked the moon landing.
Is that really how people got to that?
Think about
That
it.
answer.
I don't understand, 238 kilometers. Obviously, Stanley Kubrick...
238 kilometers.
238 kilometers. Obviously, the room in The Shining being 237 kilometers means that Stanley Kubrick faked the moon landing. Obviously.
Yeah.
Obviously.
I came into this podcast thinking that the moon landing was real, but I can't deny actual proof.
Do you know what's funny
It's
about
not
that?
in my nature to do that. I've said this before on our religion episode, Once I have the proof, I can't help but believe.
But
And it's one of those times.
Yeah, you got swayed.
I did.
Funny thing about that is the moon varies, distance obviously. Tides and all that, lunar activity, planets alignments and shit. So that's the mean distance, what Google just returned you. 238,856 miles.
Yeah.
And the moon sways 3.8 centimeters away from the Earth every year.
Right.
So do the math on that, Jordy.
You want me to do the math on that?
No, think about that. So I can understand, we remeasure the moon gets further away every year. Maybe it was 237 at one point. No, it fucking wasn't.
No.
Because 3.8 centimeters per year, for 40 whatever the fuck years ago, 30 maybe,
Yeah.
That's like nothing. That's
Yeah.
centimeters.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand where the 237 relation came from, because it's not 237,000 miles.
How fucked...
It's 238,000 miles.
What would happen, right, if we pulled the moon 10 kilometers closer to us? How much shit would fuck up if we did that?
Nothing.
Nothing?
Because the moon, like, varies distance all the time.
Right.
That's
but not
the mean...
by that much, though?
I think the delta is like 50 kilometers.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Like, that's the range.
Wow. That's cool. I didn't know that.
Maybe 50 more kilometers from that delta shit would happen. Like, we would have massive tsunami kind of
Floods,
shit.
Yeah.
Fukushima level shit. But
Some biblical shit.
yeah, literally, like Jules.
Yeah.
How do you think they measure how close the moon is at any point in time?
Really long tape measure?
Yeah. You said that like Carl or something, like really
Yeah.
long tape measure.
Yeah. I've been rewatching An Idiot Abroad, so my stupidity levels are increasing.
I love Steve Merchant. He's funny.
Yeah. That.
He was perfect for Wheatley.
Oh
Like,
my god, yeah.
how, like, he's just fucking perfect.
No
Like,
one could have done that better.
I
Just like I don't think anyone could have done Russell better than Rhys Darby.
yeah.
Like, he fucking nailed that.
I'm excited to replay that once I get my good PC.
Oh, for sure.
I'll actually be able to play it without lagging.
One night, my dad, he asked me, he was like, this was like 2 nights ago, 3 nights ago, he was like, hey, have you got any like proper games for VR yet? And I was like, oh yeah, I have the proper game for VR yet.
Yeah.
And so I strapped him in, but I didn't know, because I decided it would be funny, because I was so bored, to see if I could finish like 2 full bottles of wine and as much alcohol as I could in like 10 minutes.
Yeah, that's what you do.
So I did that, and he overwrote the save that I had going, where I was
For
bringing
your achievements and
yeah,
shit?
where I was bringing the gnome through the entire game.
Oh my god.
So now I have to do it all again.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I was like over halfway, I think, and this is like a 10-hour game, and I'm pretty decent in VR now. I think I've got a decent set of VR legs.
Yeah.
But I couldn't fucking do 10 hours in a row. That's just probably not good for your eyes at that point. But like, it's
Your batteries would die.
all that too, yeah. But it fucking sucks that happened. I don't know why I said that. Why did I say that?
We were talking about Wheatley and then
yeah,
VR and all that.
Yeah. Like,
What did your dad think of HLA?
he was very impressed. Because I said to like, this is what I
I'm
say
impressed
to people.
by it, and I've been playing VR for 5 years.
Yeah, I said to him like, it's real. It looks fucking real, dude. Like, that's the only way I can explain it.
Yeah. It's incredible how close they've got, like, the lighting calculations.
I can't believe it. Like, the fact that the people are the most interesting to me. The people look fucking real.
Yeah.
That's what weirded me out every time.
Do you know what the strange part about that is? If you look at it on a flat screen, they look cartoony.
Yeah.
But in VR, they just look real.
Yeah.
Like, how did they do that?
You know the one part where, like, the woman at the top of the staircase goes across?
Omar or Ola or something?
Yeah,
She
something
has a
like
weird
that
name,
with the
yeah.
cat or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, that part, like, was when I was like, holy goddamn shit, this is fucking nuts that they were able to do this.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Do you know you can draw on the glass with the...
Yeah, it's so fun.
The first time I played, I drew a circle and then, drew fuckface, and it circled around one of the CPs. Okay, yeah. How do you think they measure the distance to the moon?
Oh, shit.
It's very interesting how they do it, and they can actually get some pretty good precision.
Do they, like, send...
Long tape measure.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to make a guess that's going to make everyone laugh at me, because that's what I'm good at.
It's fine.
That's what I'm good at, right? Do they use some sort of, like, high-precision laser or something?
That is completely correct.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
That is actually how they do that.
That's makes me feel good when I get that shit, right?
Yeah, because lasers move at exactly the speed of light, they know exactly how fast it's traveling, so what they do, they get a laser, point it at a reflector they left on the moon last time they were on there, and then they just time how long it takes. Because a laser is traveling at exactly the speed of light, so they have an exact time value.
Well, do we still send people to the moon?
I think India is.
I was gonna say, or is it like we just went that one time? We're like, well, there's not much up there to do, so we'll come back again.
There's been a couple of like moon landings.
Sorry, I keep interrupting you.
No, it's alright. Like people have been to the moon quite a bit. How accurate do you think that gets? How like in meters, centimeters? You know,
I was just thinking like the fact that if it's the one they left up there 40, 50 years ago,
It's basically just a mirror.
it's probably not the best. Maybe it's like...
There's no electronics on the moon per se. It's literally it's called a retro reflector. You know how you get those like high vis jackets?
Oh, yeah.
How they work is that
So the moon has a high-vis jacket.
kinda,
A very small one.
Kinda. Like
That's
that's
fucking cool.
actually how it works. Like high vis jackets work because inside the little like white things is a bunch of prisms, like little triangles. And the way it works is that if you fire light at it, the prism is designed in such a way where the light comes directly back at where it was shot.
Huh.
That's why if you like shine car headlights at a high vis jacket, it's always bright no matter what. So one of those was left on the moon. If you fire a laser at it, the laser will get reflected at exactly where it came from. So yeah,
Okay.
how accurate do you think it is?
I want to say...
The actual, like the laser is what's doing the measuring on Earth.
I want to say it's pretty accurate. Like, because if you...
Take a guess, like, you know, kilometers, meters.
As in, like,
You
how
know?
much is it off by?
No, like how
Oh, what degree can we measure
Yeah.
it to? Centimeters.
would you believe millimeters?
What?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Like 1 millimeter precision.
What
I think
the
some.
fuck?
I think even micrometers they can get down to.
What?
Can you imagine that? Like measuring how close the moon is in fucking millimeters.
That's fucking...
That's like a flex.
That's a big-ass number.
I like to imagine that the first person to like design it went to his colleagues and be like, I can measure the moon's distance in millimeters.
Yeah.
That's just a flex.
Imagine if, like, all the people in the space race, like, all the countries involved in there, I could just imagine them all sitting in, like, a classroom.
Yeah.
And America's like, look what we can do. You know? Because I'm guessing this is in America, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're like, check this out. Look what we can
Yeah.
do. And they're the ones that got the A, and everyone else got, like, a B+.
It's like totally unnecessary. It's just like I'm doing it because I can.
Yeah.
It's like, do you remember that one Genesis ad? Like, no, Atari Jaguar. It was like when consoles were going past. It was, you've probably seen it. It's
Something
like,
about light speed or whatever.
No, it's about bits, right?
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, SNES or whatever is 32-bit.
32 bits?
Yeah, and then like the teacher's like 64 bits.
Yeah.
Like it's just
Twice as many bits.
Do you know what the actual bit size is referring to in a console?
Not even a little bit.
It is the data bus length, and that is as uninteresting and unimportant as it sounds.
It just sounds cool. It's like when people add like fucking in car names where it's like the CBA VR Turbo GX.
GTR,
It's like,
yeah,
what the fuck does that shit mean, dude?
GTR 2 Turbo Overdrive.
Yeah, it's like, I want that.
Yeah.
I just made that up and I want that. Because it has a cool name.
It's like graphics card RTX
the
2070
RTX
Ti.
Strix 5080 9000.
Yeah. 2060 Super.
Do you know what it is? All these names is like what people used to name robots before robots were a thing. You know what I mean? Like,
I guess.
in movies, they were like, this is the Atominator 65 Strix 5000. And he's our family servant.
Aren't they always ending in like Tron or something? Like
Oh, yeah.
Automatron
The
or like
Automatron 9000X.
something. Yeah. Do you know the first robot wasn't even a robot? It was like some dude in a suit with a record player pretending to be a robot. Literally, that's what it was. They were like, "Oh, look, it's the first consumer robot. It can like do chores for you." Literally, they didn't tell people. They were like,
Fucking slave in a suit.
yeah, pretty much.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
it was literally some guy crammed into a suit, and he was changing records with like speech lines on
That
them,
sounds fucking
and like
terrible.
moving the arms up and down. You're like, it's a fake
Like
robot.
that one movie you showed me.
What movie?
That one, like, was it black and white or something? That really old YouTube
Oh, Pi?
not Pi.
That was in black and white.
It was about a robot. You were like, let's sit down and watch this whole thing, and I'm like, I can't fucking do this.
What happened in it? I don't remember.
He was
this.
like, he was rapping or something in there.
Oh, Digger or something? Like Gold Digger? My Family
Gold
Robot?
Digger, yeah. That's
Gold Digger.
Yeah.
Hello, Mommy, Daddy. I am Gold Digger. I do things for you.
It's exactly like that's what I'm picturing.
Yeah, it pretty much is that.
Yeah.
That's what it was. But it was like 1950s construction, so it was all angular, and the face was like a square with like pegs welded onto it.
Yeah.
So it looks kind of ridiculous. Okay, that's what I had for moon landings.
Cool
of shit.
stuff, dude. Cool
Let's talk
stuff.
about flat Earth.
Yes. Did you do your research?
I have half and half. So that's the moon stuff and that's the flat. I have talking
shit.
points and all that. So I have looked it up. Yeah.
Okay, so does this mean now is my chance to try and prove why I think the Earth is flat?
Yeah, go on.
That's what you want me to
I
do?
would love you. Oh, that's literally
Okay.
fuck.
Cool.
Burping everywhere.
All right. Why is the Earth flat?
Yeah.
I'm going to try and predict what they think the reason is.
You try to do it and I'll try to refute it.
Okay. I don't reckon you'll be able to. Okay, so the Earth is flat because when you look outside,
Yeah.
you know, even if you look to the horizon, I've been on a cruise, you know, you look to the horizon, it's all flat, right?
Yeah.
And so when you look into a telescope and you see the moon and it's round,
Okay.
it's not real. It's a projection. What you're really buying when you buy a telescope is a very sophisticated panel.
VR telescope kind
telescope
of thing. Yeah,
type
augmented
of thing.
reality.
Exactly. It's all AR. That's what they don't want you to
That'd
know.
be pretty dope.
And because my eyes and my brain cannot compute it being circular, and when I jump, I don't fall off the side, you know?
That is interesting. I have a talking point about that.
Yeah.
The whole gravity thing.
Yeah, and because if I dropped a ball, right, and the Earth was round, wouldn't it just roll around the entire Earth and come back to me, dude? Isn't that what would happen?
So you said
I dare you to refute that.
you said about looking over the horizon, right? And you couldn't see like curvature. Can you see to America looking over the horizon? Can you see other buildings?
No.
You see nothing.
No.
Explain that, Jordy.
Because the
This is my
Earth
counterpoint.
is curved.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
literally like that's the thing I don't understand. They always talk about horizons. They can't see a curvature. Can you see to fucking America or like Australia or over the side? Like you would think you'd be able to see like the fucking Burj Khalifa at any point.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
just turning around, you'd be able to see the tallest fucking building.
If you had some like super fucking eyes, you'd be able to like if your eyes were good
you'd
enough to see that
something.
far.
You'd see something.
Yeah, totally.
Have you played you've played all of Human Revolution, right? Deus Ex?
Yes.
Do you remember that one point where you go to like Shanghai and it's like 2 layers tall?
Yeah.
I imagine it'd be like that. You'd look and you just see like a mess of buildings if it really was flat. Like literally the horizon wouldn't be a thing. You would just see
totally.
like rubble like just buildings everywhere.
Yeah.
Like how do you explain that?
By what you just said. That's how you explain it, because the Earth is fucking curved.
There is
That was what I hate being on boats, right?
Yeah.
That's something you can put in my Wikipedia page. I hate boats. All right? And when I went on that cruise, right?
Yeah.
And that was what fucking scared me the most, is when I was on I was at the full back of the ship, right? And I knew I couldn't get off this boat for like 2 weeks or however long it was. I was stuck in the middle of the ocean. If something went tits up, I was dead.
There's a fuckload of like life support and rafts.
That's
and
not what
shit
my
on boats.
anxiety brain was telling me, right? I looked off the edge and I could see nothing as far as my eyes could see. That's what scared me the most.
Okay.
Because I could see the curvature of the Earth. The blue expanse went that far. So that's how I have to believe that the Earth is round.
You're stranded.
Yeah.
There is like they try to explain it away being like, oh, you know, it's like a mirage looking at the that is somewhat true. Like the hot gases or whatever will slightly curve it, but theoretically you should be able to see like you would be able to see the Burj Khalifa from where we are, because
it would just be a bit
somewhat
blurry.
close to it. Yeah, you'd see something.
Yeah.
Whereas you can be in the middle of the ocean and see fucking nothing on the horizon. How do you explain that? Like realistically, how the fuck do you explain that?
I reckon you should just put all the flat earthers on a cruise together and then fucking bomb it.
No. What then would be no better than them?
That's a good point.
Do you want to know who a famous flat earther is?
Go on.
Shaquille O'Neal.
What? No, he's not.
Yeah, he's a flat earther.
Stop it.
He's
Get some help.
Is that
Shaq?
That was like
That was
Kobe.
Michael Jordan.
Yeah, oh yeah, I was Kobe. Michael Jordan. All those black basketball players are the same.
Oh, God.
Okay.
Waiting for that to end up in a compilation.
I haven't said as much bad shit as I have to cut out 20 clips of audio per episode because Jordy and his fucking motor mouth over here just running on fucking
Yeah,
slurs, racial
I've
degeneracy.
never said that.
You've said it
on this show.
Yeah. I was compressing data last night and I was watching the progress group bar go by and it said podcast.wave, you know? You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Certain podcast.wave.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay. I didn't know.
Why do you still have that?
Because I archive everything and I
You
compress
shouldn't
it.
archive that.
If it makes you feel better, the compression algorithm I use,
It'll make me feel better if you deleted it, because there's literally no reason to have it.
it is very hard to uncompress it without building a custom toolkit. So if I lose that data is lost forever. So
Okay, good.
it's very easy for me to lose all that data.
Brilliant.
If that
That's
makes
what
you
I
feel
want.
better.
Yes, it does.
Okay, so Shaquille O'Neal, flat
Really hope
earther.
I never have to explain that at some point.
We've talked about so much that I feel like people are just like, what the fuck are they talking about?
Basically, I was young and stupid, and I did
told you it
things
was a
that were
bad
not
idea.
okay. Even though people told me it was okay, I made some stupid decisions.
I'm pretty sure I told you it was not okay.
I'm sure that you did.
Yeah.
I'm sure that a lot of people did, and I thought that I was being cool or edgy or something,
Okay.
and I said some bad shit. I took it down. Is it up anymore? It's not up anymore.
No.
And that's it.
The good thing
I'm
that
an older man, and I understand that what I did was wrong.
do you know what the worst part about that podcast was? We recorded it over Skype.
Yeah, that was pretty shit.
At least I had the sense of mind to actually get source audio from all of you and then combine it.
Yeah, it was pretty rough.
Yeah.
But,
And Jared, I remember Jared had so fucking shit stories.
yeah.
Like one time we literally had to like talk to him and be like, Jared, what the fuck are these stories? Like what? I don't know.
Because we had a similar sort of get-up, didn't we? Where it was like, we would each like write stuff down that we wanted to talk about on a document.
It wasn't topic based. It was just okay. Should we explain it? I guess.
Yeah.
So what it was? Do we want to name it?
No.
Okay.
Just
I don't think it's out there because it was never online. It was always on my servers.
okay, cool.
So it was a podcast that Jordy came up with because Jordy, we're all creative people, and Jordy he likes putting his kind of content out there, which is honorable. And like this was Jordy's idea to create this podcast. After we started talking again, he was like, "Oh, let's do a podcast." And I was like, "Okay." We both had pretty nice mics and all that, but so we had a
nicer
pod.
ones.
What's that?
Now we have even nicer
Yeah.
ones.
I love Rode. Rode is great,
Yeah,
and they're
man.
Australian.
Roadie.
Yeah. So it was a podcast where me, Jordy, and Jared would just talk about stuff like.
Okay, for anyone listening to
yeah.
just this episode, Jared was a friend of ours.
Was
a friend of ours. He's still a friend of mine.
Yeah.
But he just did it with us. There's no reason you should know that name.
Yeah.
He's never been in an episode of this podcast or
I
anything.
think I've mentioned him a couple of times.
Yeah, I'm just saying for people that just tune into
Yeah.
this one or whatever. All right.
So yeah, like we would just I was going to TAFE it at the time, and I'd just encounter random fucking events.
That was after
and all
school?
that.
It finished?
Yeah. Well,
Oh.
yeah, you guys were doing. I don't remember what you guys were doing. Maybe
I think I went to TAFE as well.
maybe you were in year 12 and I was at TAFE already because I skipped year 11 or whatever.
yeah.
But we would just kind of talk about random shit. Like I'd talk about all the events that came up. Our first episode was about how big GTA was, 65 gigabytes.
Oh, yeah.
And
wow.
It was fucking shit. It was rough.
Yeah.
Like, we had a couple of kind of funny talking points, but mostly it was just us being like, "Oh, what? I can't. You sound like a robot. Skype is fucking up." Because we were recorded over Skype, but we would each record source audio, and I would combine it in
Yeah.
FL Studio of all things.
I remember one episode we did. We were both in the same room, and one
was
of
in
us
the
was sitting
closet.
in the cupboard. Yeah,
I was literally stuffed into the closet with a microphone. Oh yeah, and we didn't have good mics either. I was using a headset mic. Jordy was using his Rode NT-USB, which is what we used to record this on. And Jared had a headset mic. So, okay, enough about that. All right, Shaquille O'Neal, he's a flat earther.
Yeah.
He said on a podcast recently that when he drives to Florida to California, he's flat. So the Earth must be flat.
Because he doesn't go anywhere else?
Because he doesn't feel any curvature when he does that. He sees a straight line to drive. So the Earth must be flat, bro.
I can't argue with that.
Solid proof right there. I like Shaquille O'Neal, so...
He's a cool dude.
I thought Big Shaq...
now there is a gauge, right?
Yeah.
For how to judge a person who is famous. Depending on the shit they do, right?
Yeah.
So if you're overall a cool person, you can let it slide that they're a flat earther. And this is the case with Shaq, right? He's a cool dude. He does the memes. He does the he's got lots of cool cars. Did you know that? Like he keeps making custom cars
Most
with like
celebrities
Pip
have
My
cool
Ride
cars.
shit or whatever. And like he just keeps making. He's a cool enough dude.
Yeah.
That when I hear that he's a flat earther, I'm like, okay, cool, whatever.
That's not okay though.
Like if he's not hurting anyone,
But he's
stupid. Sure.
He's normalizing it though.
Yeah, I guess.
Since flat Earth is like, look, even Shaq's a flat earther.
By the sounds of it, it's not like I'm 100% convinced the Earth is flat. It's just like, I don't know, man. When I drive there, I don't see anything, so it's probably flat, right?
That's ignorant to scientific knowledge,
Well, yeah, but I mean, let's face it, right? He's good at what he does, which is play basketball.
Does he play basketball anymore?
I don't know, but
I don't think
that's
so.
what he was good at, right? If he doesn't do it anymore.
He played basketball good. That means it's okay that he's in.
No, it just means that it's. He's not a scientist.
Okay,
by any means.
Jordy. If he was an anti-vax, would that be different? Would that change things?
Yeah, because that hurts people.
Yeah.
By
That is valid. Yeah.
Yeah, like that's. If you can, it's funny to me. I've never actually met a flat earther, but I would love to. Because this is the type of thing where I would love to just sit in a room and try and bombard them with reasons why they're fucking stupid.
I've met flat earthers. They are...
Yeah, they just shut you down. As in, like, shut themselves down and say, like...
They don't...
The government controls all of the media.
It's
so
not
what
even
you
that.
know is wrong.
It's not even that. Like, that's kind of the YouTube ones. But what happens, you try to tell them, like, oh, gravity and all that. Just like, no, it's not real. It's not real. You can't argue with them because they'll just be like, oh, don't believe
Just
it.
one question, like one word answers type shit.
They'll just say it's fake. Even if you try to explain what, like, in actual scientific terms, they'll just be like, oh, that's fake. This is fake.
Oh, man, I don't think... I am physically incapable of sticking to an opinion that I have
Okay.
that's much.
That's good.
Like, I because I get so much shit wrong.
Yeah.
As people know on this podcast, right? I'll be certain that I put a title in something or whatever, right? Like I've had so much shit happen where I'm just like, I have to just learn to be okay with the fact that I'm going to be wrong, and I'm glad that it happened because now, like, when I have arguments and stuff, it's just like, it's not a big deal because if I can get my point across and they can get their point across, usually I can see their point, and then I can come up with a alternative, right?
Yeah.
I don't think I'd be physically capable of just going, didn't happen. I can't do that.
A rational person, like, takes in information and then adjusts their viewpoints accordingly. Like,
yeah.
It's ignorant to shut everything down and be like, I believe this because I like it,
I wouldn't say, like, it's a rational thing to do, but I think you need to learn this skill.
Yeah.
I don't think you can necessarily just be brought up to accept this. I think you need to learn.
Yeah.
Like, because when you're a kid, you don't want to share or anything like that. You
have
it's
to
just
learn
like,
these things.
You have to learn it all. And some people don't learn it as much as other people.
I have another point here. Not the best segue, but so some guy, right, on YouTube, there's a video of this. I'm not going to name him because fuck him.
Okay.
And we'll give him, like, coverage.
There's some sleuths out there who'll figure it out, I'm sure.
He took a spirit level on a plane.
Oh, I see.
Recorded it. What is wrong with that, Jordy?
The plane moves?
Well, yeah, but what is the plane doing?
Flying?
It's going over the Earth, and how does gravity work, Jordy?
Not the way that you can measure with a fucking spirit level.
Yeah, because the Earth is round.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
And gravity attracts things towards the center. So if you're at any point above the center, it's always going to read down.
Down, yeah.
So what is he expecting to happen?
I
Like
don't know.
the plane starts fucking tipping and then everyone falls to the side? Like, what?
Wouldn't it be funny, right?
Yeah.
If it turns out the Earth is flat, right? Somehow all this
That'd be frightening.
obvious logical stuff was just somehow wrong, right?
It can't be flat though, because it just
We know,
can't.
I know. In a hypothetical situation, right? I don't think I would want to live in a world
I
where...
would kill myself.
Yeah, I would too. That's what I was going to say. Like, I don't think I could live in a world where these fuckwits are actually right.
It's not even that. How am
I going to bring up children in a world where I was that wrong.
No, the thing about that is that proves that there is some big-ass fucking government cover-up, and that might as well mean a bunch of other conspiracies are true. And if so, that's a terrible world to live in.
Yeah, you say coronavirus, I say it's an excuse for the government to change the batteries in the birds.
Okay, yeah. But yeah, I wouldn't want to live in that world where the Earth is flat, because that means the government is covering this up. The government is, well, they are corrupt, but like every government, but you know what I mean? Like, that would be a terrible world, because that would mean so many other conspiracies are true as well.
Yeah.
So
But that might mean we could have alien friends.
Yeah. These flat earthers, right? Why don't they believe in gravity?
Because they don't want to. It's that simple, I think.
Yeah.
Every single person learns about this shit in school.
Yeah.
Like, it's just it's something I'm sure it's a mandatory curriculum that you have to learn is space stuff.
Were you shown the demo of like a tarp stretched around a box and they put the ball in the center?
Yeah.
That's showing what gravity is. Gravity is a fundamental attraction between two masses. So it's not. A lot of people think gravity is because of the iron in the Earth. Any mass has gravity. So anything big enough will attract other things towards it. That's why the moon has gravity as well.
Yeah.
And it has less gravity because it's smaller. So gravity, like, it can't not exist. Like, we've proved that with the Large Hadron Collider. Like,
if someone, how long ago was Isaac Newton alive? When was?
I think like 1800s maybe.
So if people,
ask Google.
I'll
ask it. Hey Google, when was Isaac Newton born? 1643.
1643.
So 16 like 50 or 60.
So what is that? Like fucking nearly 500, 400 years ago. We knew, or 4,000.
What?
No, yes.
4,000?
400. Sorry, I'm a fucking idiot.
400.
We knew back then that gravity existed.
Yeah.
We knew back then, dude. What the you can't,
It's pretty,
if
like,
it's that
recent,
obvious
yeah.
that it was happening. Like, they didn't have...
The thing about that, even before Isaac Newton thought about it, it's still something you can observe. It's still...
Yeah.
It's not like it didn't exist at all, like it's a new thing. You could still see that it was happening.
Yeah.
And your brain would make a connection. You wouldn't know what it was called and how it works, but you see it happening.
We'd be living in a world like Gary's mod, where people would just, like, objects would just be locked in the air. If that was the case.
I guess.
So you have to put a little bit of fucking thought into this, guys, you know? You have to really reach into your cranium, your grey matter, and think about this shit. If Isaac Newton had an apple fall on his head and he could tell back then, you're smarter than him. Well, actually, probably not.
Okay.
Depending on if you believe in flat Earth or not. You need to use that grey matter, dude. Think about it. Think about what goes on around you.
So, Jordy,
Yeah.
if gravity doesn't exist, how do flat earthers explain us being on the ground all the time and not
The
flying
Earth's
away?
flat, mate.
Yeah, but what is that force that's pulling us down? What is that? How does that work? Because we can go to other planets and be floating around and
Well, maybe we just... the original people fell onto the Earth.
shit. Okay. What is pulling them down, though? What is pulling us down?
Oh, shit.
I know it's actually pretty dumb what they believe.
Okay, tell me, because I can't even come up with a funny
Believe it
enough
or not,
joke for
it's
this.
pretty dumb what they think, dude.
Really? I can't even think of a funny enough joke for this, so...
So they believe the Earth is a disk that's going up at exactly 9.8 meters per second squared.
Of course.
Since you know Isaac's whatever law of motion, you know.
How does the sun not move?
Do you know what the sun is? Do you know what the sun and moon is? They are little balls on sticks that spin around.
Of course they are.
Even though you can go out
Little.
and see the fucking moon in the sky, so that
Yeah.
kind of invalidates They believe you know how as a kid you think that like the moon and the sun are like at opposite poles.
Yeah.
That's what they believe. They
Wow.
think the moon and the sun are like on a mobile on the like above
That's
the Earth
fucking
spinning
funny.
around. Even though I can go out and see the fucking moon right now.
That is fucking hilarious.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Imagine literally believing in, like, some fucking first grade shit.
Yeah,
When you're a
yeah.
full-grown adult with a working brain. Well, I wouldn't say working.
Yeah.
But with a brain in your head.
That's pretty much all I had to talk about. We're at about 54 minutes. That's kind of perfect.
Oh, shit. That's not a bad one, dude. I like this episode.
I did too. I reckon we talked about some pretty funny
Some
and
pretty interesting stuff,
things.
too. I learned something today.
Yeah.
There you go. That doesn't happen much.
You perfectly guessed how they measure the moon as well. I'm quite impressed by
You know,
that.
that sort of shit, like when I guessed about the atomic clock as well.
Yeah, you perfectly
That's the
guessed
stuff that just makes me happy because it's like, I can actually I'm actually not that dumb. And I need to hear that every now and then.
It's like genuinely impressive that you got that
because
correct.
I get in my head a little bit. Everyone knows that, you know. I get in my head a little bit. So when I do stuff like that and I get it right, it's like, go Jordy.
You always say
Go,
you're dumb,
Jordy.
but you're pretty smart, Jordy.
Yeah,
I'll say
okay.
that.
Yeah, I guess.
Don't come on.
I don't know. I don't know
this.
how to say, yeah, I'm not dumb. I'm fucking smart. Because it makes me feel like I'm
Just
a
say
dweeb.
you're not dumb. You don't have to say you're smart or anything. You're not dumb because you say you're dumb all the time. But you're not dumb.
This is exposure therapy here, guys.
Okay.
You guys are witnessing this.
Yeah.
Jordy, you're not dumb. You're a good guy.
You aren't dumb, Jordy.
Yeah. I feel better. I feel this is a good episode.
Well, on that note, we'll see you next time.
Yeah, don't forget to visit us on the Discord and on YouTube.
Hopefully, the flick view that totally came out before this.
Oh yeah, we don't know if it
doesn't
comes out
exist.
or not. You know.
Well, what I'm saying is that
probably. I've got all week.
they have probably they have listened to the flick view already, but we haven't even recorded it.
That's
So there's a
nuts,
weird
dude.
temporal kind of thing going on.
Wow, was it a good episode?
Yeah, hopefully.
We don't even know.
The thing is,
But you do.
we can decide right now whether it's going to be a good episode.
Maybe we'll just spend half an hour farting into a microphone.
Have you ever thought about that? A file on a computer is just a random collection of ones and zeros, and you can take a block of ones and zeros, randomize it enough that it becomes a movie. Have you thought about that before?
No, but that is a cool thing
Isn't
to
that
stick in my
fucking
head.
crazy?
That's fucking nuts.
Literally, it's just a block of ones and zeros.
It's so fucking, like, I've said this before, right? Like,
Yeah.
how the fuck did people come up with a computer?
I know, and it's kind of crazy. It's the progression of technology. They didn't start out with laptops. They started out with little rocks that turned off and on, and they just kept going, you know?
And this is even more relevant now that I've been watching An Idiot Abroad again. Because I
Okay.
remember one episode of the Ricky Gervais show where, like, Carl was like, how does a computer chip get made? It's a bit of sand, you know?
It's pretty crazy how they're manufactured.
Surely, and he said, like, surely an alien came down and was like, do you want to buy this?
Yeah.
Because we couldn't have come up with that ourselves.
It's a bit crazy, yeah.
Yeah.
Alrighty, yeah.
Take
Have-
care, everyone.
Have fun.
Stay safe.
Goodbye. Fly safe. Scott
Yeah.
Manley signing
Don't fly.
out.
You can't fly. It's illegal.